Hey, YouTube. Okay, just some brief housekeeping here. The pariah of services from last time has been minimised, keeping only the Eden project and replacing ferry connection with a more reliable outside road connection, but in a way that looks like ferry is the culprit. Trucks are banned from the road, so cargo still comes via dock, which seems decently reliable so far. Trucks were taking a frustratingly indirect route from the cargo station, solved by hiding a road more closely connected to the station, leading directly to the contra lane, a roundabout solution. And roads are strewn throughout the power plant, enabling access to the extra industry buildings placed too far from main road access. Anyway, with the addition of garbage in this episode, the island should now be fully functional, and I think roundabouts have surrendered their title as overlord to canals. So strap yourself in for more catchmenty goodness. The canals and aquatics. The garbage facility is place-marked as it will utilise a canal for dumping, perpendicular to which runs a canal spanning the desert, hereon termed the Nile, prompted to change direction in lieu of boring through the mountain, followed by partial boomerang before tracing the highway to join the river. These farms take one for the team, I never liked them anyway. Yay, a bridge! I always did admire the characteristic of this river to summon more water, midstream from seemingly nowhere. Again tracing the antipodal highway, canal meets ocean. I know what you're thinking. Road time, isn't this the perfect opportunity for a mini-catchment? Why, yes, insightful viewer, it is. The catchment maintains the S-bend of the shore with reclined ends and offshoots spaced more or less evenly. Back to the Nile for a moment, another partial boomerang variegates linearity, concluding transformation of desert into triad of nestleable self-contained clods. Forbearing my old excavate first, ask questions later ways, the gradient of the clashing hill is retained by keys. Yay, a bridge. AQUATICS has catchment. Walls are thickened by tiny pedestrian roads, a choice not implacable until imploring further accretion through wider options trickles down, wooden, what was I thinking, to the realisation that it was the right one. Grungy pillars tessellate to submerge the space underneath, left after Babby terraforming network flags terrain mastered by canals, and plain, narrower pillars overlap to minimise the terracing effect as each rendition declines with the road grade, except at the lesser graded ends where wider terracing isn't so conspicuous. More watery goodness as road orbits the catchment, covered with rocks in the same fashion as neighbouring retained silos to form a sea break. A quay clears the path of water at the end not already bordered linearly, being dredged to give the impression of erosion on account of the stream. Though I was satisfied with the catchment insubstantial on the inland side, quays endure for the sake of symmetry, an effect I consider otherwise neutral, aesthetically speaking. The breakwater is painted with concrete, so it looks more stone-like when LOD happens. Building the dump. Garbage facilities occupy a secluded corner of the mountain base at the edge of the desert. As for why they utilise canals, and to dump what, exactly, I am not privy. Though like I stated in my previous catchment episode, I fecundate the axiom of water-dependent industry as I favour proliferation of infrastructure that is more florid, if arbitrary. Quays plateau the dump site, of which I make actual garbage dumps a part. A processing complex overhangs the canal, dug into the hillside with more quayscaping, which extends to form a road-supporting mezzanine overlooking the desert. Yay, a bridge! While the associated route snakes away until no longer bound. Quays likewise condone road access on the other side, and Babby terraforming network supports the overhang before adding a water source, the other complex affording a source of its own using obtruding water outlet pipes. Originally unintended for use as a platform, the inner edge of the mountain is quayscaped, and I can't help but slap a recycling centre up there. As the condoned road access from before is actualised, another quay spawns from the mountainside, enabling lower gradation of the road, and to obfuscate the possibility of the nearby winding mountain road being a more intuitive connector, wishing upon it discrete purpose. I sure did, say Pipe Tycoon, that is. A travesty on account of scarcity, though still adding a feeling of synergy in line with ostensible water regimentation. And the panoply of platforms is accreted once more, elevating this recycling centre so the driveway lines up nicely with the slanted road. Trees fill the surrounds of the facility and mountain crevices. I probably could have gone heavier with foliage here to make the facility look snugger amid nature. The pier-bound median road circumvents a depression in the coast, though crosses an adjoining depression, resisting the urge to flatten. Yay, a bridge! Instead opting for preservation by saturating with trees the water-drawing indent, which perhaps constitutes a creek of sorts. A small valley is added for the dirt road to traverse on its way to the facility, helping somewhat with the clunky geometry in this area. These water towers are to the garbage industry what spires are to a skyscraper. Fully functional? I think so. Maybe now I can finally get around to those farms I've been yakking about since I started this project. Perhaps a shame to spoil a quaint little island with massive garbage, but it had to go somewhere, and this spot is reasonably deserted, virtually the most inland point of the region. Not that ecology is an overbearing concern for I, the arbiter of garbage liquid dumping. That desert-spanning canal was a tall order for said purpose, but won't prove inconsequential as there'll be plenty more canal dumping where that came from. Also, the Camel Hump Canal formation conveniently splits the desert into easily developable pockets. Aquatic mass gently disperses the sea, with catchment harboured by sea break that suggests the course for a larger area of sheltered water. And so far, about half the island is navigable by road, and I am trying to preserve some natural features of the island. Overall, the base of an interconnected island region is taking shape. That's all, thanks for watching, and goodbye forever. With catchment harboured by sea break that suggests the course for a larger area of sheltered water.